While some would say they were staged, I and a couple of others do not think so, as human nature is still humane, and the quality of being kind is still very much present. From random surprises to heartwarming gestures, brightening the minds of others, and making a lady shout "Oh" in the background, here are some of the most soft and genuine acts of kindness that would make you tear up. Dive into this compilation as we show you some of these acts that were actually recorded on camera.
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
I can't get it
No,
over.
that's totally fine.
So we're going to start with this amazing auntie who came to grace the art exhibit at her nephew's school and was immediately heart-softened by the unexpected gesture of this little boy. While visiting his first art exhibit, they were going through the artwork hung up on the wall of the gallery, and then she spotted a piece that looked like her. She said to him, "That picture looks like me." The little boy smiled back, and the auntie felt so good as she held her face, trying to cover up the excitement she got from her nephew's gesture. Other people in the gallery also felt the love emanating from them both.
It is me!
I think one of Santa Claus' reindeer got into a little bit of trouble here, and he could have died if not for the intervention of these fine firefighters. A stray reindeer got stuck in a puddle of a frozen lake with no way to get out of the hole. In the spirit of Christmas, these two firefighters changed professions to ice fighters and Santa's faithfuls, putting in efforts to rescue the trapped animal from the freezing lake before it eventually froze to death. Even though it was an animal, it was a really amazing and heartwarming gesture, saving a helpless creature from certain danger or death. This particular lady got married to a crippled man. The brother couldn't walk, and yeah, that was really loving and special. Proof that even a person with a disability can find love. It was an amazing service in general, until it was time for that very special moment when the couple had to have their first dance. How is a crippled person going to dance? It probably seemed as though it would be a sad event, but then the father and brother came to the rescue. They both stood on either side of the groom and tied their legs together with his, enabling him to stand and perform the first dance with his beloved. I'm sure she shed some tears right there. Even just reading this, I feel so emotional already. With Pops being a really big lover of dogs in his youth and still in recent times, celebrating his 100 years on planet Earth would not be complete without marking the centenarian landmark with dozens of dogs gifted by family and friends all over. Pops is really loved by those around him, and he was extremely happy surrounding himself with all these dogs. On my 100th birthday, I'd like an influx of Lamborghinis and BMWs, because right now I have a crazy obsession with them. So take note of that. Friends, past, future, and present. I'm going to highlight 5 examples as being one of the nicest gestures in this compilation, and then let me know which you think is the nicest and most heartwarming gesture. But this particular one is going to make the shortlist. It's made the shortlist already even. The individuals you can show the most love to are the oldies and the youngsters, especially the oldies though. The 79-year-old grandpa was turning, well, 79 as it was his birthday, but he was extremely sad because no one he knew remembered it was his birthday. He came to a store where the store owner saw him and asked what was wrong, and he told him it was his birthday and nobody remembered it. The store owner decided to surprise him, and in a matter of minutes, he brought out a donut cake and gave it to him, telling him, "Happy birthday." Pops was so happy as he felt remembered, but this dude didn't stop there, as he canceled the idea to make money from Pops's pocket that day and instead gave him a bag to pick anything he wanted in the store. An extremely heightened gesture that would literally make anyone happy, as Pops had a splendid 79th birthday, going on a shopping spree without paying a thing.
So sad.
Today's my birthday. Holy number, it's 3079.
God bless you, man. Can I surprise you?
Yeah, man, sure.
Birthday, man.
That's me.
Yeah, that's for you.
That's good. Thank you.
Another present for you.
Really, what?
I don't know the name of this little girl, but I know she's in Honeyland right now while receiving an amazing hug from Winnie the Pooh. Yes, Winnie the Pooh. Well, her dad dressed in a Winnie the Pooh costume and gave her a really resounding hug as she cuddled him tightly and closely, enjoying every bit of the love she was getting from our furry little friend there. In this case, this man was suffering from dementia and had just less than a year to live, so he wanted to learn boogie boarding. And these beach surfers came to his aid, with all of them flocking around him to teach him the art while making him happy along the way. Oh my gosh, basically humans being humane. every country in the world, there are always some people left to roam the streets in a state of homelessness, without anywhere to stay or to even call home. They are forced to seek refuge in awkward and sometimes open places. This brother saw a man sitting by a building with bags that seemed to be his luggage, and the surroundings suggested that this open space was his home, a painful sight indeed. He went ahead to get some food for this homeless man and brought it to him, which the man collected and appreciated with all sincerity. It was a truly emotional moment, to be very honest. We need more people like this back in our society. Make sure you're doing some good out there. A lot of people need help, especially those you don't even know. In this scenario, an Arab roadside seller mounting a table with what looks to be shoes or shirts had been out there for 3 days straight without any sales. But finally, his prayer was answered as a fellow approached him and purchased a reasonable amount of his goods, making him so very happy. Finally, Abdul can go home, have a proper meal, followed by a hot bath and a long rest. This lady was on a plane going to some place I really don't know, but she was on a plane, all right? She probably saw her face was looking pale and so meh, but she didn't have any mirror, perhaps, to apply the makeup on her face. She took a rather bold step to ask the person next to her if she could help her with the makeup on her face, and that person agreed wholesomely. A total stranger, one would normally mind their business or something, but as the lady said, the worst you can ever hear is no. But in this case, she got a pretty smiley yes as they both conversed all the way through. I'm sure they exchanged phone numbers as a makeup buddy had been born. While helping the oldies and surprising youngsters, another group of people that ever need our help is the homeless. You don't know how lucky you are to have a roof over your head, as so many people stay in front of stores and behind organizations. Jeffrey Knobs deserves every single thing he wants and needs in this life, as his TikTok page is dedicated to helping the homeless. In this clip, we could see a homeless man sleeping in front of a store with no covering whatsoever on a really cold night. What did Jeffrey do? He got a blanket and covered up this fella, who was really touched and moved by the gesture towards him. Follow Jeffrey Knobs, guys. He's a literal lifesaver and an overall generous person. This homeless guy wandering on the streets made this little girl's day as he made her happy and continually made the little girl smile. As they say, those who have the least share the most happiness. He was in possession of a small toy, and the little girl was in a sort of store with a transparent glass. All he did was play with her through the glass while smiling at her and waving his toy in flying directions. It takes very little to make someone happy, but it is always worth it. My parents are amazing. They'll literally give me anything I want. Words of a perhaps spoiled girl. But would your parents give you their time whilst flying from Scotland to Egypt and back again? Well, I don't know about you, but the parents of this young woman should be given every kind of award there ever is, as these people drove all the way from far Argentina to Chile just in an effort to properly welcome their grandkid, who hasn't even been born yet. Isn't that lovely? Lisandro would definitely live in a loving environment, as he's got the greatest and most caring nanny and grandpa a kid could ever ask for. Another recording in my shortlist. Oh my God, people are so nice. This elderly woman was maybe trying to get something to eat, and she couldn't seem to open the lid of a particular container. Well, being the only one at home, she went up to her neighbor, rang the bell, and asked the fellow if he would be able to open the lid for her. He responded swiftly, "Why, of course," and went on to open the lid for her. She was really happy. He just opened a lid, but to her, he'd done much more than that, as the smile on her face said. He then told her that anytime she had a problem with anything, she should let him know. A real neighbor indeed. Come to think of it, imagine if he had turned the old lady down. We're going to go 9/11 on that brother's home ASAP. This little girl had no hair on her head. She was basically bald, probably suffering from Down syndrome. Up until this hairstylist met her, she styled a really pretty wig on her head. After applying the wig, the former brood on the face of the girl turned into a bright smile as her beauty radiated around the room, with happiness flowing everywhere. This hairstylist is an angel, though. While styling a little girl who had alopecia and really scanty hair, she worked her magic and made a Barbie out of her, properly styling and augmenting her hair. Regardless of the fact that she was getting paid, it was evident she did it with sincerity of heart to make the little ones happy. Basically, it's the little things that really matter, and the little help you think you did would mean so much to someone. The same way, a very minute hostility could make someone completely and totally sad. Make sure you spread happiness and joy, and don't forget to make someone happy every single day.